All right, if you guys didn't know, this is an original one-owner car, and we rescued it. So we're just going to wash this thing up real quick. I don't know how much detail I'm going to get into on it, but I don't want to be out here in the sun. So, but anyway, it's got a flat tire right now, so let's put some air in it. It's got one of these metal stems. Bad idea if you guys didn't know that. They take forever to work to fill up with air, and they always leak. So yeah, guys go, oh, those last forever. Yeah, they last forever, but they just leak, and they're constantly putting air in the tires. I don't know if it's that or all the cracks in the sidewall. I'm not sure. I don't know how much air I'm going to put in this. Well, it doesn't even read. It doesn't read because the stem isn't faring well. So anyway, I'll finish this up and then we'll go on to the next thing. You guys ever seen one of these? Pretty cool. I'll put a link in the description. I bought a couple. I actually paid for this thing. This thing's cool. Check it out. Puts out almost the same as your compressed air. Like a super jet thing. Well, it certainly looks better when it's wet. I could use a good TR3 and some hand work on this and maybe a little polish, and it looked pretty good. And of course the wheels, they definitely need to be painted. If you look here, you can see, you go, oh well, you're ruining that original paint. Well, if you can see here, let's get you guys up nice and close so you can see. It looks to me like the original silver is what's underneath, and they painted it once with aluminum spray cans. You gotta look closely, because this would not, you'd be trying to save this original paint by not using a pressure washer, which this doesn't have that much pressure. There's just paint is just falling off of these wheels, and just to save for nothing. So anyway, looks like the original paint is what's underneath, and it's already shot, so we're not saving anything on that. And I can paint them and make them look good. To me, wheels make the car. If the wheels look good, the rest of the car looks good. If you got jacked up ugly wheels and you got a jacked up ugly car, it just looks like an ugly car and nobody respects it. If it's got nice painted wheels and it's still original paint, people will respect it when you're at grocery stores and things like that. Not to put door dings in it and whatever, all the things that people do. There is one good sized dent right here, which if we replace the door panels, which I'm considering, I don't know, or this rubber, I mean, this stuff is like wood. So was this originally a chrome car? I think it was, but am I going to take it back to that? I don't think so, if I'm going to do it, just because it's more money, and I'm not putting money in this car. I'm putting as little as possible into it to get back the money that I have in it, because my experiences with these late models has not been good as far as getting my money back out of them. So, and this one I can't afford to lose on. So let's take a look at the engine. I still need to do some more washing of this thing. Once I get, of course, more leaves came inside from the vents. There was filth there, so I'll have to rewash that, looks like. And then probably clean out the distributor. I'll use my handy dandy air machine to do that. Then you don't have to pull an air line out. It's really handy to have one of those things. They're on Amazon. I don't know what the price is. I'll put a link in the description. I bought mine through somebody else, and it was even cheaper, so you're welcome to do the same. But those things are pretty neat to have, and I did pay for it. Right, well, next on the agenda, I went ahead and pulled this off and gave the gas pedal a couple of pumps, and no squirty squirty. So we need to take off the carburetor. So we're going to move this somewhere where we can do that, and we will X-nay the blank here and put a proper fuel pump and remove all this weirdness and unveil these wires here and find out why there's a fuse here. I imagine it's probably for the fuel pump. A lot of unnecessary wires when you go to remove the engine. It makes it a lot more work, and then it makes you not want to do it. So yeah, anyway, what is this, a doghouse on this one? I think it should be, huh? Yeah, it's a doghouse fan shroud, original. So that's neat. So anyway, let's original one, and here we'll get the original air cleaner back out and get the engine back in spec of originality, and we'll go up on the lift and we'll put new fuel line all the way from the tank back and get it done properly with the metal fuel line from here around the corner the way it was originally, so that you don't have a hose that gets chafed in going through the when it goes through the tin there. A lot of times the hose will get chafed, and then you'll have another place so you can get an engine fire. So let's just eliminate some of that stuff and get it back to what it should be. All right, let's get it in where we can play around with it, get it up on the lift and go underneath it. There's definitely no rust in this car. Definitely the little screamy thing is kind of irritating. I forget how to remove those. We used to take them out and just disconnect them, the fasten seat belts, light, and all that. But yeah, it's stuck on now, so I gave this thing a whirl already. She started right up. Well, the accelerator pump being not working isn't helping much. Kind of runs. Oh yeah. Now the fasten seatbelt light comes on. But it actually works. Let's see. Oh. Nope. Somebody just tolerated that. Because those seatbelts are stuck. I'll have to fix that too. Yeah. Tires are lumpy and bad. Rotten. Yeah. Alright. These are bolts, huh? These come off then. We can buy those little finger bobbers to fix the horn. Oh, look at that. Ooh, it goes into gear and the light comes right on. Some sort of stuff's starting to work again. Somebody just drove it around with that light on. All the time driving it. Wouldn't that be great? I think that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. Is just drive around with a noise like that coming out of the car. Well, she's got suspension. Definitely not as stiff as a Carburetor. That thing is like definitely out of whack, guys. Doesn't supposed to do that. Not supposed to be that way. So let's get this thing in here. And let's see, listen. It's still screamy, even with the key out, so that's going to be a battery draw. Better disconnect. That's why you always leave your battery terminals kind of loose on a Volkswagen. At least I do. Yep. There. Fixed that problem. Check this out, guys. The headliner is immaculate. That's what I was saying, you know, just do the, you know, well, except for the back. But, you know, that's all right. Maybe put the carpet over that part. I mean, the headliner's like really nice. This thing here is broken. But anyway, I'm not sure this wood thing, if that's gonna stay. Should it? I guess it was an accessory. Need some double stick tape on it or something. Sounds like a hassle to me. But anyway, and I gotta clean off the double stick tape off of here. I don't know. I have to make a decision on that at some point. And all this paper jammed up in here to keep the air from coming in. Okay, that's one way to do it. You guys that don't drive your cars a lot and you say, hey, you know what, I really like an electric fuel pump because it brings the fuel up quickly. Let me give you a little piece of advice. I mean, first of all, I would not have one in my car, personally. That's what I would not do. Second of all, if you are going to do it, I believe that you can put one of these up in the front, by the gas tank up there. And what you can do, and I believe that these are free flowing. I'm pretty sure they are, as I recall. And what you can do is put a switch in, and you can have it switch it on and run the pump for just a moment until you bring the fuel up to the fuel pump, and it'll actually, you know, crank it over a little bit with that on. And then when it starts, turn the fuel pump back off, the electric fuel pump. That's an option. And then the other thing is, you know, just take one of these vacuum tees off right here and just spray. You got to know which one's manifold vacuum, which I don't remember offhand, but just spray carburetor spray in here versus having to take the old air cleaner off and have a little straw to make sure it doesn't get on that, and then just use that as a primer. So that's what I generally do, is I just put a little bit of carburetor spray in it, do it a few times, and then what it does, the engine turns over a little faster than the starter. You're not burning up your starter, and then brings the fuel up to the carburetor. But if you wanted to use, if you said, hey, I don't want to deal with that, you could put one of these fuel pumps up in the front of the car and still run the regular pump and just pump it through it. Yeah, I think my engine stand set up that way. I have one of those same pumps, just like that one, and I have it so that it free flows through it. So anyway, that's an option. And then you don't have to worry about the engine fire issue that you have with having the fuel pump on when your line does finally do crack or you neglect it or whatever. It's not just going to keep pumping fuel while the key's on. This one here, when it goes bad, okay, first of all, you don't have to worry about your line all the way from the front of the car to the back, okay? All you have to worry about is from here to there. And what I do is I just replace it every couple of years so that it doesn't ever catch fire, and put a new fuel filter on at the same time. And then I put my fuel filter on and I look at it. I can see if I've got vapor lock issues. That's just the way I deal with it. Some guys say, oh, the fuel filter in there, it's going to make the engine catch fire. Never had it happen. But, if that's your choice. If you want to not have it there, whatever. I have one there because I want to see what's going on. That's the reason I have it there. I want to see if that sucker's bubbling. It's telling me the fuel pump's hot, telling me my oil temp's hot. Let's take a look at things, let it cool down. On a hot day. Yeah, those are all things that I look at. All right, guys, I started digging into this thing, and I pulled this carburetor apart. Of course, the accelerator pump was stuck, was plugged, so I just blow through. I used some carb spray with the tube and blow through this hole right here, okay, and then feel it to make sure it's coming out of here, and it finally did. Then I pull the primary main jet out, the main jet, and it's a 120. Okay, then I start looking at the carburetor, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a small flange carburetor, so it's meant for a single port, which makes more sense why it would have a 120 in it, which is still too small even for that. Usually I would want at least a 125 or 127, something like that. 120 is just way too small. So this is actually a BBT carburetor. These are good, but you gotta go through the jets, guys. Every time you have to check this stuff. So if you want your car to run right, you don't just buy a carburetor and stick it on your carburetor and go, oh wow, how come it doesn't run right? Well, because you got to do the work. You got to know your stuff. Most of the time you probably don't even need to replace that carburetor. So I pulled these out. I haven't pulled these out yet. I haven't checked them. So you got to pull them apart, check every jet, and that's like I said on the last video. This one says it's a 50, and then you got to make sure that it is, because it might not be a 50, which is, again, that's kind of lean for a dual port. It should be like a 55. Okay, got a 55 right here. Let's see if it's that. Oh, yeah, it's bigger than a 55, and it says 50 on there as far as I can tell. And it's bigger than a 60. Feels like a 65. Well, let's go to the next one and see. Let's go to 70. Maybe it's a 70. Nope. 65. Marked 50. It's a 65. So what I decided to do is I have this Sherryberg carburetor straight from China, and these actually work. This one I put it on and it worked good on that 2021. Let's try it on the 1600. I checked the jets on that already from last time, and it had a 130 main jet, which is probably about right. for that size flange. And for the dual port engine, about 130, sometimes 135. Well, let's see what this one is out of curiosity. It's even clear. This is all, God, this is all stuff. You got to do the work, guys. You got to know what you're looking at and take it apart and just start playing with stuff. And this one says a 50. Let's try 55. Yeah. May not have lied on this one. Tight 50. I'm in trouble with my 50. So 45 goes in. Yeah, I'd say it's a 50. It's just a little tight. So this jet's a 50. And it's marked 50. So anyway, this is a good carburetor. This is a BBT. These are usually pretty good, but nothing's perfect, and you have to check everything. So I'll put this one together, and we'll put it. We could use this on a different engine. There's no sense in me putting a small flange carburetor on this engine when I have a big flange carburetor sitting right here. And it'll give it more power and makes it more original. So gets rid of some of that junk. Anyway, I'll put it on there and we'll take a look at it in a second. Let's take a look underneath for the first time. God, it looks like the motor looks like it's original. I don't think it's been rebuilt. Look at that. The trans too. Oh, it's got 388s in it. Holy crap, that'd be cool. And it's got a KYB gas shocks, like the basic ones, which are not too bad. Really good shock for this car. The rust issues are non-existent. No floor pan rust. Not even running board rust. Something hit there. I don't know what it was. A tire? I don't know. Oh, that's from the tow bar. My bad. God, these look original, but well, maybe they're not. I think he actually replaced them. They look like ATEs though. Ball joints would probably be a good idea to replace, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to get it, like I said. Yeah. I mean, super solid car. I mean, you can't go wrong with something like this. No accident damage. Nothing. So yeah, it's a definitely entry-level Beetle. It is not a super Beetle. Some guys were like, "Hey, come on, the spare isn't like flat." It's like because this is a Beetle, not a super Beetle. Okay, well, yeah, this one. I wonder if I think it has like 80,000 miles or something. Maybe that's original. I don't know. We'll see if it runs good once I get this done. Let's continue with the hose replacement we got here. What's that? Is it cloth? Yeah, I guess it is. And then I see it goes through here. And then I saw, oh, I guess he changed it past there. Okay, well, we'll put a new piece in here. Let's look up here. Oh, I thought that was going to happen. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, somebody did some brake work here. There's definitely some new hoses going down here. If they're the proper ones, I don't know. Where's the gas tank hose? Oh, there's webs up in there. Any spiders, anybody? Tell me now, because I'm just going to reach in. I'm not really very scared of them. Yeah, those might be Black Widow webs. So, yeah, we should get something and get them out of there so they don't just crawl up into my hand. All right. We know what the task is. All right, let's burn up some of this stuff. Notice I can see that the fuel is coming up. That's what I like there, guys. Listen. Nothing in the carburetor yet. Something's wrong in here. I should have fired already. Either that or he had the distributor drop wrong. Could be. Alright, looks like a little piece of paper got dropped in the distributor, down there, so fished it out of there. Should be lined up now. Let's see if she starts. Let's see if it squirty squirt. I hear something. let's check the timing, see where it's at, and then go from there. It's got a little poo-poos. Could be if you put those spark plugs in there. I don't know what he put in it. Alright, so we got her all set there, 30 degrees. Still got a fast head slot. I don't think it's squirting. Alright, that shouldn't be long. Well, it's getting better. It's just, we'll play around with it a little bit more and we'll see if we can figure out what's wrong. Oh, it's a little better now. Motor mounts are probably a little loose. We adjust the accelerator pump, and I'll probably go there. Adjustment over here, you can move the rod and the accelerator pump. I think it needs more squirt. So you would move it so that it'll give it more, the longer squirt. The whole thing apart. I don't want to do it again. I'm doing it right now. That's where people don't understand. I mean, every time you take it apart, you gotta fix something and then put it back together. The accelerator pump's coming on, I think, a little late. And there's a way to adjust that. You take it out and you got a screw and you take the whole carburetor off again, and then you move where it starts to squirt so that it starts it earlier in the stroke or something like that, so it squirts longer, and then when it squirts longer, then it gives it more fuel. And if you squirt too much, then you can literally spend 2, 3, 4 days trying to get one of these cars to run perfect. And that's what I've had people go, oh, well, my car doesn't run perfect. It's like, okay, are you willing to spend, $1,000 to get it to run perfect? Oh no, I don't think so. Well, then there you go. That's what it takes. Days of time. So I'm just trying to get this thing to run, so somebody can buy it and make it go away. I don't know, maybe I'll get it a little bit better, but I'm just too frustrated with it right now. I just took that whole thing apart. The accelerator pump fell all apart because there was some little clip missing that I didn't know about. And, now it's, 45 minutes later, I finally get it all back together, and it's not squirting enough. It sounds like to me like a little bit lean. You can play with this stuff and play with it for days to get it right. But, time is money. Nobody has money, so you don't get the time. Here's what I like now. Starts right up. Raise the idle up a little bit so it doesn't get so unnoticeable. And I got to make some cosmetic repairs here. Let's see what these little things cost. I think, and I got to have the horn button on here. This just looks too horrible. He goes, oh, that's the dead spot. It's in mine because because you got the 009. It's like, no, the carburetor is way out. So that's really what it is. You guys mask it up with a throw timing at it. That'll fix it, make it better, but it's not right. So anyway, okay, so we're moving forward. It definitely runs better. I can get it started up, move it around here. That's the first goal. I mean, I could do that before it kind of ran, but I want it to run a little better than that. So the motor sounds really good. It doesn't sound like it's bad. I mean, it could use probably the valves, probably out of it. I mean, heck, the timing was 30 degrees out again. Everything on this property was 30 degrees out of these old cars. I don't know about the Chrysler yet. I don't know if I'm going to get into that one very far. Don't think I am. But, yeah. It's definitely starting and running. The motor sounds solid. Doesn't have any looseness sound to it at all. Yeah. I'd like to put the original air cleaner back on. Let me see if it's got the filament. Okay, Jimmy. Say it. No good. That's Mr. Wilkinson. Always comments that one. There it is. That's no good. All right, guys. There you go. It looks a lot more right. I don't have a. They didn't have a air filter element, so I'll just put the old one in just for a short time, and then I got one ordered. It should be in tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, it looks like a normal. This looks like a one-owner engine now. It doesn't look like, with the funky electric fuel pump and, just stuff that doesn't belong on it. This is pretty close to me. So anyway, at least I've got something else I got to put in here tomorrow. So anyway, hopefully this thing is on its downscope. Oh, much better getting in this car now. I decided to just go ahead and bring her back in the garage and do a couple more things to it. And then we'll make this into a whole video. I was looking around, made a couple phone calls, and wait, give her one pump. Oh, it needs two. Okay. That's what I'm saying. I think the accelerator pump's just not quite putting enough out. Oh yeah, there goes the seatbelt buzzer. I love it. As soon as it goes into gear. So must be the reverse lights must be working. This car's kind of growing on me. I kind of like it. It'd be really cool to just, this one would be really neat car just to drive as a daily driver. Yeah, look at that when it goes into gear. Yeah, neutral, it's okay. As soon as you put it in gear. Kind of, I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of back in the old days working on these things. I guess the tire still has air today, kind of. Oh no, she's pretty flat. Gonna have to get those tires coming. Take it out of neutral. Light goes out. So I figured we'll work on a couple more things on this thing. I need to check the, let's see if this works. Oh hell no. I think that's what it's supposed to do when you run it, right? Or is it? Well, is it when it hits the shaft? Or is that the same? Nope. Guess these are the same then, I think. I can't remember. So we gotta make that work first before we put these on, because I got these from Wolfsburg West, these little clip guys. Just that one's okay, but I think we're just gonna put all new ones on. I remember buying these at the dealer for a car a long time ago, fixing the horn. Much better. So, yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, I think that accelerator pump's still just not putting enough. Got a little restriction in it or something. It's gonna be a fun little thing to work on. But yeah, she seems to. E-brake kind of works good. Heaters, yeah, they seem to, I don't know if heat comes out, but the cables seem to operate nicely. So we looked into, I checked around, a couple guys, friends of mine might have a used set of door panels for this. So I'm hoping we can get that versus, I was looking at new ones, kind of expensive for this car. So we'll go for that. I mean, I'll see if I got some used ones. And then I don't know what to do with this. I kind of, we'll just take that off and maybe look behind there. There is a big hole. Somebody, I don't know, butchery. Gotta love it. Maybe we could clean this up and make it look a little nicer and fit properly, and put some vinyl over it to make it look like the dash, and maybe put the radio in here and get rid of those screws. Put buttons on there or something, you know, real interior stuff. I don't know. Just kicking around some ideas. And then we got to fix the headlight. So we'll do that. Oh yeah, she's a flat one. So yeah, it just goes down overnight. Fix the headlight. Here, a couple more things here. It's really terrible at that one fender. This one looks so weird, like something. I guess that doesn't look too bad. The patina on the outside. I don't know. We'll see what we're going to do with that. Maybe. Somebody said paint and blend. Maybe. Can I match? Yellow is really hard to match, but it blends really good. But I just don't know if I like the look of that one. This I like. You know, that looks good. Nice patina there. That just kind of, it doesn't look so good. The roof, not terrible looking. This looks good, like a nice patina there. Just the front of it doesn't. This is, I mean, once this is polished out, that might look pretty good. Anyway, let's check things like turn signals and stuff like that and see what works. I'll just leave it running. Oh, we saw one blink. One blink. Oh yeah, we got, oh, there it goes. Just needed it. Probably a bad connection. Probably a bad connection. Oh yeah. That one's not working. This one's working up front. That's what I thought. So yeah, probably those aftermarket tail lights or something. See what goes on up here. Same thing, maybe. Oh, we got a blinker up in the front. And what do we got in the back? We got a blinker in the back. It's a good start. It wasn't working a minute ago, was it? Yeah, it's still on the high-speed zone for that one. All right, what about these ones? Headlights? Brights? They do something, but they don't change. This one's still... we got... see headlights up there. Both tail lights. Okay. Headlights and both tail lights. And brights kind of almost work. But this one's crooked. So definitely need to fix that. See what else we got here. Headlights work. What about these? Huh, you think? Whoa. Kinda. Four-wave flashers. Ooh, that one's... I thought it was out of sync, was it? It was just me. Oh yeah, this one here. Where's the one that didn't work? Bet the bulb's loose. So let's check that out. I'm going to guess it's either bad ground or the bulb was loose on that side. So let's go with that. So most the lights work. The horn does not work. Let's try it again without the key on. I can't remember if this was keyed power or not. We'll dig into this in a second. Maybe we'll check the, I mean, of course, the seat belt flashing seats. I don't even want to check the wipers. The motor's out of it, so yeah, there we go. And a pencil in case you need it. Yeah, see? And the we can go through the ashtray. Money? Any money in the ashtray? Ooh. What is that? Okay. Anything? Let's see. You had a pencil. Tweezers just in case, you know, if you get a splinter. Maybe it was dual use as a roach clip. That'd be my guess. For this guy. Weird knob. Don't think it belongs to the car. Some black tape wrapped around it, which makes it work much better. So we'll remove that and get all this out of here. All right, looks like it was just, I didn't even take the whole thing off. I figured out after I got it off. put this plastic crappy thing back on there. Probably the one that came originally on it was probably in better shape than this. I just had to bend the tab, of course, get the connection a little bit better. They poorly made. All right, next on the agenda, let's see if we can get this thing to be right. Be careful taking these off without my reading glasses. Can't see hardly. I don't think I need to do much to it. Hold it. Oh, that's not good. I'll spin that one. Ah, yes. The old #1 screwdriver. Allied from Costco, probably Sam or Price Club back in those days. How do you get that off, right? Somebody figured out how to do it wrong. Because he's got the whole thing's in there crooked. That's why. Can't get that right. Take the whole thing off, of course. Alright, so we'll get this all sorted out. Get it straight. Put it back on. And then go to the next item. Here, I gotta find the screw for the long one. We're going to take these things off. These things are pretty simple. Little clip. This one here is still good, but we'll put new ones on. Yeah, just like that. New ones look a little bit different. They're like this here. Got a little base to them where they kind of hook on the steering wheel. I don't remember them. Maybe in the later years they were like that, and they just did those because they work better. I don't know. There you go. Got all 4 of them on there, and all it does is you just push the horn on after connecting this wire to the little tab right inside that hole. You can see that. So you gotta just slip this little guy in there. Except I need to check something because I ground this and it should be with the key on. Should be a horn. So there's some continuity issue between it goes through here, then through a contact. Let's see. Yeah, there's a contact ring on here. So this thing can even come apart, and then it goes through a wire. It goes through here. I don't know what that is. I think so. Let's check that out, and then we'll check. I check power to the horn, but I'll show you guys. And these late models is key on, so you check in here. Okay, so that one is the horn. On that side, what the heck? Should not be getting. This one should be. Why is it doing that? Grounding on both sides. Is it touching in there? Let's Let's see. Is that touching? No? Interesting. Something's right. That's weird. Where's our power to both sides of the horn? Should be one power and no power to the other side. And then when this thing goes here, it grounds. Well, gotta dig in, boys, because there's something weird going on here. I just realized something since we were checking things. You know what? This tire, the bias ply, is the spare. Probably the original spare. And for some reason or another, oh yeah, Continental, I think that would be. These are, I think usually the tires that I remember on these cars were Continental or Metzler. Okay, I remember Metzler's too on Volkswagen, so 615. 6 was something else I thought bigger. 580 was it, or I can't remember what the other number is. But yeah, this is probably the original spare, so I could probably rotate this back into the trunk, and if you can see, it's a little bit different silver than the others. So we could rotate that one back into the trunk and use the other tire that's probably flat to get new tires on those. So we will do that as well, because that'll look nice. A nice little bias ply spare like original. All right, so hopefully you guys can see. I barely can see myself. The yellow, the black with the yellow stripe is supposed to be the hot side, and the brown is supposed to be the ground. So what I do is go on the Samba, or just look up wiring diagram for this year. Unless you have a book, you can always use that. I used to use the books all the time. Now I just use the internet. So somewhere up here, yeah, there we go. This is the power for the it says there was a one wire for this, so maybe different. These are got to be different browns right here. So anyway, the power for this, hopefully I got you guys in frame because I'm trying to look at this. The yellow and black is connected to power that comes from the that goes to the brake lights too. So it goes down here, then it should go down through here to the brake lights. So it looks like this is just according to the manual. I just look on the book, it says what it is. If you look on the wiring diagram, it says that it connects. If you look at it, it says like T2 or T3. You'll see in the little notes in the bottom, it says T3. That's a 3-wire connector. But it says there's a 1-wire connector for the ground, and it doesn't always say where it is. So, yeah. Boy. What we got here? There's a 1-wire. Oh, it's on one end. It looks to me like this guy's dug through this whole harness. I mean, everywhere you go, there's a little zip tie somewhere. So there might be a wire that's connected to the wrong place, because obviously there is. We just don't know where it is. So got to dig through here and find the brown wire coming up. Is this it? I can't tell. I can't see in here. I have to get my light. Get in here. Can't see the colors very well. Not in this lighting. I got to get some light in here. Find the brown wire. It goes into a 1 connector like this. That could be it right there. And then in one end of it, it goes through here, and then it goes into the other end, goes into the switch, into the turn signal or the ignition switch down here that's inside the column. it doesn't show where they are. It just says that it goes to the switch. In the column, it shows like a ring, and it shows that the brown wire gets connected in there, and then it goes through that to here. So something's wrong between there and here that's getting power. And I imagine that what I figured it is he connected the wrong wire inside one of these. So I just got to dig around here and get the light in here and find it. I can see it better through the camera than I can through where I'm at. It's just dark back there. All right, we found her. So here it is. Listen to the horn. Can you hear that? It's kind of wanting to honk. And it's brown and it's positive, which is almost always on a Volkswagen. Brown is going to be negative. So something's wrong, and it's going from here into the ignition switch area or the turn signal. So somewhere in there, it's getting power. So there's an issue. Whew, this is going to get fun. So somewhere in here, in this loveliness here, in this ignition, in this thing here, there's a short, and it's shorting to power. Or somebody has done some interesting things with the wires. So anyway, dig in. Right, this is a little interesting, but we got it figured out. So there's our power through the, what's happening is power is going from whatever it is, number 15, back through where, right here, where the power goes to the brake switch, okay, and is going through there and going through the horn and then back up into here. So when I ground that, even though it's positive, it seems like the horn works. So whatever our problem is a grounding problem in the steering column somewhere. So now we've taken it up this far. You know, we just got to find out why it's not grounding in the steering column, which was my initial thought. And that means we've got to take the steering wheel off, and that's the reason I haven't put the horn button on yet, is because I've disconnected these two plugs here, and it's still hot, which this is the one with the brown wire in it that comes through these two. So I got to plug these back in here. Let's make sure it's got the right one. I'll turn the key off. Anyway, I'll get it plugged back in and then we'll move on. All right, steering wheel off. I get a little groundage here. I had something a second ago. I'll just clip it on that one. How about that? And then do this. Oh, key on. Turn those lights off. So apparently I bent this tab up a little bit. It was kind of flattened down. It rubs against this little tab here. So typically there's like some grease on there to keep it from getting corroded or just. So I'll just clean this up a little bit, clean this connection up, and then we should be good to go. But that's why I wanted to do that before I put this horn button on. So it ended up being what I thought it was initially. Plus there's a wire in here in this plug that maybe that was the real problem, and that's why he couldn't figure it out. The plug right here, the brown wire where it goes in right here, if you just push the plug in, it would just, the little tab would push in too. So I had to hold it with some needle nose to and actually insert it in this first and then plug in the rest of the wires. So typical Volkswagen, old Volkswagen problems. All right, I'll put some magic spray on here, our famous magic spray, and some grease, and get her back on the road. Get her back on the horn back working. Plus I noticed another thing that's, I mean, this car, definitely full of surprises. We have some door panels I found. I got pictures of them. Some original ones that we can probably use. Used ones. And so I had the steering wheel centered and see where this tire is setting. Kind of turning outward that way. And way out. And this one's almost straight. So I'm going to say this thing's probably misaligned quite a ways. So I'll have to definitely, when I put tires on it, at least set the toe on it. Doesn't feel like anything's loose, but definitely the tire is and the other one's just barely in, so it's towed out pretty badly, and that'll make it handle horribly. So we'll get that maybe fixed too. It's just snowballing here. All right, well, hopefully I can get that horn button to work. That's the most important thing today. You got a tester along the way too. Let's see. Oh, you have the key on. Yeah, it'll start working better as that contact kind of gets more lube on it. We'll take our magic spray. Guys, this stuff really works. Improves electrical properties, and we'll put some on each one of these because those are the contacts, I think. From looking at it, the horn button goes through these things here, and those are the contacts. Maybe I'll put them on both ends. So, well, that one and that one are contacts. Is that one a contact? There's 3 of them. There used to be 4 probably, but we're not going to worry about the 4th one. As long as it works on the rest of them, we'll be fine. I believe these clips are one way. The new ones are. The old ones were just, they had a little lip around all the way around. So I'm flipping them over because they're not locking in. So let's see if it works now. Well, it fits, and it honked once, so it seems like I'm going to have to fiddle with this a bit. The magic spray needs to kind of do its thing. Maybe I'll have to clean those. I'm going to take this back off. Maybe I'll just give them a little sand. And then, if that's you're wondering how this thing comes off, that's how you do it. And then I'll just sand these bolts a little bit and then give them some more magic spray, and I think we'll be good to go. All right, well, we got it to work a little. It does not work over here yet. Should, but it's just not. It's good enough for me. As long as you got a horn and you know where to push it, that's all that matters to me. But someone else, if they want to take it apart and try and sand all the contacts and put new wires in and all that, they can have at it. But to me, it's like, that's good. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed wrenching with me. It's kind of nice. This thing runs pretty good now. I give it a little gas. Maybe I gave it too many. I got a lean spot. We'll figure that out later. I'm just too frustrated with it right now. But anyway, this is something way better to look at. We'll get some door panels, some used ones that look better than this. Still gonna figure out where that seatbelt light is. Oh, just when it's in neutral, it doesn't do it. Let's see, it turns on when you put it in gear, right? Oh, the light was working. Well, once we get some tires in this thing, we can take it for a drive. Fix some of the other things. Definitely want to fix the door panels, get that done. I don't want to do too much to this thing. I just want to, I mean, look at this, and then look at back here. I just noticed this. Look at back here. This is just caca. Look at that. Oh, man, can you see it? I mean, I can't. That's just gross. I mean, this is a nice car. I mean, it's really nice, and just to have a bunch of little things like that, are just going to be, people are going to go, oh, that's just a piece of junk. When you can fix those little things and make it look really nice, where it's then, makes it desirable, and it doesn't make it, oh, well, hey, I'll give you $3,000 for it. Well, for the engine or for the car, I know we're going to get those kind of people, but I don't really know what it's worth anyway. I know it's worth more than $3,000, and I'm sure that's the kind of offers I would get without just doing some simple things like changing door panels and a couple things. So I think it's worth quite a bit more. Share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. I don't know how much it's worth. I know it's not 10 grand. I don't think so, but I mean, it is pretty neat. It's a pretty cool car because it's so original. Once we get it all together, you'll see what I mean. All the parts are here. All I got to do is put them back on, because somewhere along the line, somebody had good ideas and good intentions of fixing it or taking it apart, like the horn. I'm sure all that was wrong was that contact inside, and he couldn't figure it out, took the horn button off and broke all the tabs, and goes, oh, or either that or the horn button just came off in his lap. That's another thing they used to do. They used to break off and come off in your lap. So yeah, it could be that. I don't know. And the engine, we got it sorted out pretty well. Still blowing leaves out of everything. Once I get the air cleaner changed, get the carburetor sorted out a little bit better, the dead spot has got to go. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure it's just a squirter, and it's just giving me problems. And it didn't before. I put gas in it once, and then whatever happened. So anyway, I think that's just a little bit restricted, the squirter is, or something. So anyway, I'll figure that out. And then maybe I'll just run some carb spray through it or something. I don't know. Just drive it a bit. Probably when I start driving it, it'll probably get better. Probably start working better. Blow some of the old gas out of it. Drive it around a little while and just put new tires on it. Find the bugs in it and then send it. I could just, I could do all that. I could, change the rubber. I don't know. The rubber's completely shot. I mean, look at this. They filled this part in with silicone. Good idea. Kept it from leaking, I guess. But I mean, it really wouldn't take that much to do that, but how far am I going to go? Do I put Cowlook rubber in, chrome rubber? The chrome rubber is quite a bit more. He's got Cowlook in the windshield. If I take the windshield out, is it going to break? More than likely, yes. A lot of times you take the windshields out, they break, or you put the new one in. Windshields often, because they're flat, I don't know what it is, the laminated glass, they like to break. These side windows and back window, hardly ever. So that's like a rare thing that it would break. One of those glass would break, but the windshield usually will crack. So if I started playing around with all that stuff, I could just be in it with a can of worms, and I'm really not going to get much more for it. That's why I look at it. I'm going to put a whole bunch of money in it, and then nobody wants to pay for that stuff. So they'd rather buy it like this, running and driving, in a pretty drivable shape, and then think the dreams of changing the rubber and all that themselves or whatever. And, whatever suits them, then they can decide, well, I'm going to put the chrome rubber in, and that's fine. But, for me, making those decisions for someone else is just not smart. So anyway, again, I just want to move this car. It's not something I can keep. I just want to, when I get it, and I'm not sure what to do on the paint. I think I'm going to, it's going to shine up really good. It'll look like this, but it'll just have white bleeding through it, which will look a lot better than all chalky looking like this. So I don't know. The product to fix that's like 25 bucks. Should I just get some of that? yeah, I'll probably do that, and I'll paint the wheels and put tires on it, put the front together. That's where I'm thinking I'm going with it. And then I didn't want to do the door panels, but I mean, I don't want to do the seats. I mean, the seats, I mean, they're almost okay the way they are. They just look aged, which is cool. I mean, just kind of goes with the rest of the car. So that might be okay. But this is the caca right here. You know, this stuff, it just looks like butchery. You know, I don't like that. And the rest of the car isn't. I mean, the rest of the car is really decent. I mean, the wiring isn't cut up or patched. You know, a lot of stuff he did right. I mean, the radio, I'm on the fence on that. I almost want to just take it out. I think I'm going to take the radio out, the one under the dash, because you can't even open the ashtray with the radio there. So that's just funky. So I think that's going to go. So I'm going to take that out. You know, somebody can put a Bluetooth speaker in here if they want a radio. That's all you need. You don't need anything else today. You can put on Odyssey if you want to listen to the radio. Put on your Odyssey. Listen to the radio. If you want to listen to radio, you don't need anything else. The doors shut amazing. The car is really good. It just needs a little bit of love, and then we can send it. We'll have a nice bi-splice bear. That'll look good. I'll have the tires all done up, and I'll bring you guys along for the ride. We'll take a look. Make sure you like the video. Don't forget that, and make a comment so you can tell us what you think and any of your ideas. I'll take a look at them, and I may go with some of them. I've gone with a few ideas from you guys already. So anyway, let me know. Share your thoughts. I'll talk to you in the next video.